r/196, which is a sub that I don't really know about. I probably should have double checked since this is NSFW before going there. What is, hold on, what is this sub about? If you visit this subreddit, you must post before you leave. Well, I'm not going to do that. We're shitposting subreddit with moderators that are very active, that are actively hostile to bigots, bootlickers, and chuds. Okay, so they're kind of left-leaning. R196 has a very nuanced and thoughtful discussion about capital punishment. Okay, hold on. I don't know why I just whatever. You will never commit R word. We are on YouTube. Based off of your own circumstances or external factors, there is nothing to be rehabilitated. Yes, I 100% believe in rehabilitative justice unless you commit one of the bad crimes that I don't like, and then I think you should be skinned alive. Well, I have my own opinion on the old PDF files and our words. You know what I mean? So maybe my take isn't the best to have on this. This particular image in which the OP, which always causes a stir on 196, suggests that people who say they are pro-rehabilitation would change their mind at one of the bad crimes I don't like. And 99% of the times this image is posted, one of the bad crimes I don't like for most users is sexual assault of adults and children. Its incendiary, reductive, and disingenuous nature always sparks heated discussions on the leftist subreddit. In this instance, another user in the image responds saying that external factors will not cause a person to R someone, suggesting that the concept of consent is intrinsically understood. This sparks comments about R culture, R rehabilitation, and other very interesting observations. Well, we all know what my take is going to be on this. I'm not very pro these types of people, to be real with you. The ones on the registry, I think we'd be better off without them. But it is what it is. One user explains R word in modern society with an ice cream analogy, which proves to be popular. It's no longer there. Rehabilitation also isn't exclusive to punishment and restorative justice. IMO people should be made to make some kind of amends, financial or otherwise, and some people do need to be separated from society. They should also receive treatment, if not for then at least for society so they don't reoffend and hurt others. Our current system does nothing to address the core problem. It's just perceived retribution. It's all too easy to take these hardline black and white stances in theory, but in practice, nothing is that simple. I don't even want to argue with you because I'm against the death penalty too, but that ice cream cone example is whack. I really wonder what that was. Comparing R word to stealing someone's money for ice cream is actual lunacy, shame, and dishonor on all 1,400 of you who boosted this psychotic shit. So that's what he did? I think that there are crimes that do indeed merit horrible fates. There are people who unironically deserve to be skinned alive. Oh man, what happened here? That's a lot of comments removed by the moderator. Wow. I wonder what the rules of this sub are. No bigots, bootlickers, cops, conservatives, no landlords, no Nazis, tankies, Tate, Peterson, Rogan. No French people. Oh, it says the French. The French are forgiven for now, but they're on a short leash. This is a safe space, and failure to pass this vibe check. I know what's going on here. This is a very left-leaning sub, so they probably complain about conservatives and stuff a lot. And I'd assume, like, you know, Nazis and stuff, and for some reason landlords get tied into that. And so they probably get into, like, a lot of disagreements. So then there's probably Republicans that come along and say, rehabilitated unless they're the people I don't like, but then for some reason the R word gets thrown in. I don't know. Not gonna lie, I think the moment you genuinely believe anyone deserves to be skinned alive, you are the evil one, or rather, one of the evil ones. I'm one of the evil ones, baby. Maybe not skinned alive, but they don't need to be here anymore. So what about the victim of said R word? Do they just have to suck it up that their abuser is supposedly reformed and now free? Dear God. I'm assuming this was deleted. You're acting as if our criminal justice system currently works well for victims of abuse when it in fact doesn't at all. Yeah, assuming they're safe from them. They don't have to associate themselves with their R word, but being hurt doesn't give you the power or right to do harm to the one who hurt you. I would disagree. I would disagree. I'm not about to tell someone that was, I'm not going to tell someone that was sexually assaulted that they can't, I don't know, maybe potentially get a little revenge. I don't know. This was deleted too, man. I don't believe in the death penalty, but telling a victim of R word to suck it up, that their R word is free, is insane. Ah, geez. I don't think I've ever seen so much back and forth over skinning people. Reddit when discussing crime as a whole, sunshine and butterflies. Reddit when discussing a specific criminal crime, fire and brimstone. What does subreddit drama think about this? Happens basically anytime that image is posted. Great memes, but bizarre, inconsistent politics. Broadly environmentalist, but falls for the dumbest greenwashing shit and hates bugs. They're apparently pro-choice and very be gay do crimes, but the mods banned me in a thread about throwing raw chicken on anti-abortion protesters, pretending it's a fetus, because I said the perpetrator would be safe if I was on the jury. So they don't have the cojones to make it happen. It would be nice if more people recognize the distinction between serial killers deserve to be skinned alive, and I trust the state with the authority to arbitrate who gets skinned and who does the skinning. Someone already deployed a hot take, so I guess I'm the hotter take. Whether or not the state's involved is pretty ancillary to the whole should we skin people alive discussion. Maybe not skin them alive, but I don't really want them around. That's my take on it. Opposing capital punishment is not about thinking if someone deserves it or not. If someone does something insanely vile, I'm not going to pretend like I'm some unemotional guy that would never wish harm on anybody. I personally do, but a functioning state should be better and more morally upstanding than the individuals that contribute to that state. Capital punishment isn't wrong because I personally think nobody deserves any harm at all. It's just wrong because it's wrong to kill people, and a state should not be an agent of revenge. It should be us, the people. The people should do it. I understand what he's getting at here, because you would imagine that these bodies of government, the big people in charge, the idea is that it goes through more checks and balances and stuff like that. It's very easy for me to say that I think these types of people that commit R word are disgusting and should be, dealt with. But, I'm just a guy. Anyone want to explain what that sub is about? I've seen it says right there, man, it's shitposting sub. Jesus. Half the thread looked at the meme and saw themselves in it. When you start arguing in favor of the straw man and a straw man meme, you've already lost. 196 is the place in kindergarten where they corral all the kids who are too dumb to finger paint. Dear God. Look, this conversation really sucks. There's not much more to say about it. I just think killing is unconscionable. Hold on. Maybe I'm smoking crack. That's not how you spell that, right? It is. I'm dumb. I read it like that because I thought that's not how you spelled it. Whatever. I'm the idiot, actually. Why did I think this was spelled differently? Anyways, there isn't a rehabilitation factor, in my opinion, on capital punishment. Killing is bad. This is one of those issues that's too complicated for the internet. I will agree with that. I do hate how these people who are super invested in rehab justice tend to meme it in these really gross ways. You want the guy who R'd your daughter to be shot? Get owned, chud. Like, that is an inhuman way to approach the issue of someone suffering a violent crime. They do themselves no favors with their weird extremism over it. Does that subreddit fetishize femboys still? Dear God. There are few things more ironic than people expressing that cruel psychos deserve the worst possible fates in the most cruel and psychotic way imaginable. Imaginable, I mean. I can understand what you're saying by that. I don't think they should be skinned alive, but I don't want them around, right? You can give them their own little island. I think that's what Epstein was going for. Keep them there. Fly them in on a plane, then blow up the plane. They can stay there and hang out with their people. I don't want them here doing their weird stuff. The skinning alive, I don't need to personally participate in it, However, if something happened to, say, my daughter. That video of that guy who his son was molested for years and years and years or something like that? I don't know if it was for years. It might have just been one time, but he caught Like he went to the airport or something where the guy with the criminal, the perp, was being transported, and he shot him, like not point blank, but he shot him and was just like, whatever, I get arrested, I get arrested. I kind of feel that guy on a certain level. You know what I mean? Like I don't need it to be like torture and pain, even though what they did to another person is torture and pain. But I don't know. I can admit that I'm not a saint here. Love that the first sentence of the top comment is saying, we need to consider an R-word's cultural background. Holy shit. Some takes on R96 are wild. I'm against the death penalty, but saying stuff like, well, R-words are also victims and don't deserve any punishment. Victims must just get over it and forgive is insane. Some people take their progressivism so far that progressivism, like, you know, like... so far that they literally start to use borderline patriarchal and sexist victim blaming rhetoric. Posting anything from 196 feels like cheating. Literally in this thread an hour ago. Well, I'm glad that we could go over this very ugly thing that for sure is just going to get completely buried on YouTube because of all of these certain words that are being brought up here. But, you know, my take on these types of people, on the old registry, the old predators, you know, I don't have the highest opinion of them. And when... you know, when I come across a story of a dad who went and found the guy and shot him and killed him, I don't exactly feel like, oh man, he could have turned it around. The damage has been done. I would say if you want to prevent that, don't do it in the first place, but it is what it is, man. It is what it is.